So hello everyone. Welcome to Cheenta School of Statistics and Data Science. I'm extremely happy to present Sai, Kamath, and Shinjini Paul, who are Cheenta students, are still Cheenta students now, um, who has given their best in the past courses of Cheenta and have been quite diligent in their practice and work. And Sai is in IIT Kanpur. Shinjini has got into CMI data science and also in IISER. Um, so it'll be an exciting journey for this 1 hour, and also share their journeys of preparation. And I have worked with them very closely in the past 1.5 years, not in just their preparation, but also in their personal development, and which is very important for their exam and for learning. And I hope we will utilize this short time to understand and appreciate the struggles they have been through, and learn from it, and get inspired by it, and give their best into whatever is coming in our future, your future. Okay, so I'm so happy to welcome Sai, Kamath, and Shinjini Paul. Welcome to Chinta once again, guys. This is how it will happen. In the first half, we will be discussing certain basic fundamental questions that are important for preparation, and the second half we will be taking live doubts from our internal platinum students of Chinta Statistics for IIT JAM and IIM Stat. Great, super, welcome guys, and you should say hi. Hi. uh,
Hi.
yeah, good. So now I will so do you want to say something about whatever you want to introduce yourself, about who you are and how your preparation was, or what do you love about statistics? Both of you. I will go in alphabetical order, so I will first go to Sai and then to Shinjin. Okay. So yeah, about your subject, why you chose this, and yeah.
Okay, so I'm audible, right? Clear, right? Yeah. So before I say anything, I really want to say a thank you to everyone who have helped me in the entire preparation journey. So just to take a few names, my parents, of course, parents, family, then Chinta, Srijit sir, and of course my college and my friends. Without all of them, I wouldn't have been able to crack JAM because they have always helped me in my either in my studies or helped me emotionally or in all sort possible ways. So thank you everyone, and all because of your efforts and constant support, I could clear JAM. So thank you. And yeah, so coming back to Shrijit's question, I didn't really choose statistics. I sort of landed into statistics. My initial plan when I joined Ferguson College was to do BSc in physics, but COVID-19 happened, and like something happened to everyone. So I felt like I'm sort of losing interest in physics, and I was sort of confused about what will I do after my bachelor's. So I talked with a few seniors, and of course there was a lot of buzz about the word data science. And there is one thing that I heard, that if you do statistics you get a job, or maybe you can do a PhD too. So I just thought that statistics is a safe way to just do your bachelor's in. And department is really good of Ferguson College of Statistics. So I decided, okay, I'll shift from physics to statistics, and in third year I chose statistics, and yeah, that's how I landed in statistics. And then I just discovered that it's a really beautiful subject, and it's a very useful subject, and you can use it like to solve problems and some overcome some challenges in society or science. So that's really great about statistics, which I feel like you don't really have to know very complex maths or very imaginary concepts like in physics. You can just be you, work hard, and try your best to solve problems. So yeah, that's what I think.
Superb. um Thank you. Thank you for the nice words. Thank you for sharing your true uh, emotions about it. I will move on to Shinjini.
Yeah. So I initially didn't have any plan in choosing statistics. I wanted to choose physics or maths, like something like that. But then I researched the syllabus of the BSc Statistics course, and I found out the probability theory topic, which I fell in love with. So I was like, I want to do probability, so I'll come to statistics. And then slowly I started liking the other parts of statistics as well, which was like it's very different from whatever I've done before in high school. And yeah, like it gave me a lot of peace while doing statistics, I guess.
Great. Statistics gave Shinjini peace. This is a good statement. I think you should mention it in your, first line of your CV. Just joking. So, good. So now I will ask you questions one by one that are important for your students' preparation, for your juniors' preparation, and yeah, let's move into it really directly. So the number one thing is that I should ask both of you. I think I know the answer, but I want to ask that from when did you start preparing for IIT JAM or ISIM Stat or CMI Data Science or whatever? Like, yeah, like
2022 February.
okay, with Chinta, right?
Yeah,
With
which
February.
yeah.
Is Sai also same, or did you start before?
Yes, same. No, I didn't start before.
No, no,
I
don't.
just joined.
I know the answer. Okay, just say the answer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I started with Shinjini only. I joined Cheenta in, I guess, in January. Yeah, I joined Cheenta in January, but there was no course at that time. There was nothing like pre-preparation course at that time. So everything started in February.
Got it. So yeah, in this 1 year, like you started from like around 1 year before, right? So that was my question. The next question. So yeah, now there is something I want to say about both Sai and Shinjini. Shinjini, so do you want to say something about like um, your background, like how much you are confident about the topic, the foundations before you came to Chinta? Rather I should not say just Chinta. It's like many people are just preparing on themselves. They shouldn't have to just enroll into Chinta to do it. So I was want to ask, like, what was your like how much you were confident in the foundations before you started your preparation? Sai and then Shinjini. I will follow this order. I will not say it every time. Okay, guys? Yeah.
Yeah. So with foundations, I think my calculus was fine, but just calculus was fine.
Okay, got it.
Just one variable calculus was fine because I had done it in JE. So I had prepared for JE. So and I could remember it, thankfully. So only one variable calculus part was fine. I was terrible at probability, just terrible at probability. And yeah, and I didn't know much of statistics at that time because when I joined, I was in second year. And at that time, there was not much of estimation and inference. So I didn't know anything much about statistics. I was bad at probability and just decent, I would say, for one variable differential calculus.
Got it. Super. Shinjini?
Yeah, for me, I knew one variable calculus, but I still suck at integration. I can't do it. And I knew some basic probability theory, like which was done in first and second year, and also school. And statistics, I didn't know anything almost. Like there's some descriptive statistics which is done in the first year. And linear algebra, I knew a bit, but yeah, it was not very clear, I guess.
Great. Super. Um, yeah, so most of you like were really confident in mathematics, a part of it because probably of your college courses. Okay, so now when did you start a preparation and just to understand the point how much you can achieve in 1 year. Now the next question is like this will be the longest question actually, that share your preparation journey like in the shortest possible way with the maximum amount of impact. uh, yeah, so then I have Sai and then Shinjini. Yes.
Okay. So in two lines, it will be books for concepts, like books, And if you're doing any classes or following anyone's lectures, then that. So books and lectures for concepts, then past papers for problem solving, and mock test for practice under pressure. And that's it. So yeah.
Yes. So I will come to you again for a long answer, but I will go to Shinjini. Do you think the same, Shinjini?
Yeah, same.
What do you say?
Also, I think the group discussions we had, like with both of us, were very useful for the entire thing, and doubt solving, and like we took some concept which we didn't get, and then we discussed over it at like 5 a.m. in the morning, which was very helpful.
Yes. Yes, Sai and Shinjini worked together and they learned, and that's why, if you remember, I told all of you specifically to form personal groups. Some of you have had made, some of you didn't make, but group discussions are always helpful because you're always accountable to someone. Let's say that accountability really helps. Oh, Shinjini will be sitting with me. I have to do that. However tired you are, whether you are sick, down with fever, you have not ate, didn't sleep, but you have to do it. Yeah, Sai.
Yeah, this is what actually happened. Like there will be some exam next day or something like that. Like every day there was something up apart from jam preparation. So I think we could do it because we were doing it together, and we always had someone to text us. Did you do that? Just one question. Like, have you done it? So that really helped. So yeah, the fourth thing, group discussions for concept clearing and better understanding of everything. It helps a lot.
Yes, and this is not the first case Sai and Shinjini that happened. If you have watched our Adrija and Shayan video, they have also told the same thing. In the past year, they have ranked first and second. Doesn't matter the rank, okay? It doesn't matter the thing, but it does matter towards the mentality that I'm trying to share. The rank doesn't really matter. What I'm trying to mean is that this group discussion is really helpful when you're doing it in a team and in a collaborative manner, and it really works. It seems like it really works. I have data now, quite a lot of data. So I think you should do it right now. You find your own groups, make you probably have few, but you should make. If you have not, it helps in accelerate your preparation. Okay. The only thing is, right, reason is that you may become accountable for it. Okay. Coming back to the, do you want to explain your preparation in details, Sai and Shinjini? Like, if you want to share anything about the details of how you prepared, what are the fundamental changing, like your journey, that you think those fundamental in games there are checkpoints, right? So at this checkpoints, certain fundamental event happened, and what are those checkpoints in both of your preparation? I will go to Sai and then Shinjini. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I think there are two. So the first was there was subject-wise test of Cheenta of mathematics, and like each time in Cheenta it happens that after you complete one subject like maths, probability, and statistics. After that you have an exam. So that time the exam was subjective, and it was really bad. It was really bad. So after that, I really wanted to give up. So after that, actually, me and Shinjini started working together because I had got really bad score, and Shinjini had done good even when she had, I guess, end semester exams in that time. So she gave exam. She wrote that exam at 3 a.m. in morning, and still she scored really good. So that motivated me a lot. It did motivate me a lot, and yeah. So then she told us to work together. So that was really helpful. And after that, everything became effective for me from the concept building point of view, because there is something like you think you have understood, but you haven't really understood. Like when you try to solve some problem and you get stuck somewhere because you thought you have got it, but you haven't really got it. So that helped me a lot because I could ask Shinjini immediately, like, how did you do it? Or any step that I couldn't get, I could ask her. So from that perspective, it was really helpful. This was one. And the second time, it was the mock test. I guess it was I don't remember which one. It was a probably full mock test one, and we both scored really terrible. And after that, because we were panicking, going blank. So after that, I think we had our first meet. Me, Shilsar, and Shinji were sitting on a G and then he motivated us a lot about how to focus and how to practice under pressure. So both of those events I can highlight. So that helped me.
Okay, so now I will go move on to Shinjini. Uh, yeah, so one request to Sai, if you are not talking, just turn off your video because I think it can help Shinjini in saving her data. Yeah.
Yeah, so almost the same thing, just that we also discussed our mistakes and silly errors, and we made a diary of that. We wrote down all our errors and kept each other in check, which helped a lot. And what else? Yeah, we discussed all the mock test solutions and all. There were some mistakes in the mock test too, which we discussed. Those helped a lot. And yeah, the same. The rest is the same.
Great. So now if you want to, ask, I mean, let's talk about from the students' perspective right now. The students, they are right, here, and it's around July. So can you just tell us, share your mindset, how your preparation was, your preparation pace was, and how it happened all through the months, and any how do you think it all went, and when did it, like, all the ups and downs, can you share? And what did you learn the most, which do you think is a fundamental for students preparation? Can you share your a journey, a bit more details? That's what I want to understand, Sai, and then Shinjini.
Okay, so I'll tell how how the distribution was done of topics and the overall plan that we both followed. So I think till February, March, and April. Yeah. So till end of April, we both were done with maths. Then there were 6 months of probability. So we were just doing probability till September. No, we're doing probability till October, and then uh, while we were doing statistics, we made sure that we were revising maths and probability. Because till you have reached the statistics course, what happens is that you have almost forgotten everything of maths and probability because you're just so much into finding sufficient statistics and complete statistics that you forget how to do the series. So we just revised both the other topics while we were learning statistics. So this is how everything was spread out throughout the year. And after the statistics, we were just doing tests, like just mock tests and the solutions. That's it. Then one thing I would like to share is that while we were solving the past papers, what we made sure that we color coded every question. So, is it possible to share that?
Yeah,
Right?
I'm sure. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
While
that's
you
exactly.
keep talking, I will sharing.
Yeah. So, this was the plan actually which sir made for us because we were writing the solutions for each question. So, there are for each year you will see in the Excel sheet. So, for each year,
I'm
there
sharing.
are, yeah. So in that we have just made the color coding. Okay, I'll just wait till you share. Yeah. So this is a really good Excel sheet. So you can see the color coding, right? So the yellow means they are a bit difficult. The dark, so basically, it's like a heat map. So as the shade of yellow becomes darker, it means it is becoming harder. And the red ones are really terrible. It's really terrible. I mean, these are very hard questions. And these were the questions we revised one day before jam. Yeah. So this Excel sheet helped us a lot to keep track of which ones we have solved and which ones we haven't solved. So we had to solve everything and upload it in the drive. This is how we kept check of everything, and we could once it
Yes.
was in drive, we could just see each other's solution. So that also helped.
Absolutely. So the solutions is online are mostly done by Sai and Shinjini of the IIT JAM, and I think it has mainly helped them. They have made the solutions, really making solutions help them, and that's why we focus so much on asking you to solve all the problems, and in total there are more than 1,200 problems out there, so that's enough. But students still want more. That's fine. We give more. We are started uploading more quizzes now after consulting with Saee and Shinjini whether it will be great, how to do it and stuff. And we have already uploaded 11 quizzes for these people who are preparing with us. And what I want you to guys do is to make similar such Excel sheet based on the questions. For every week we have given such questions. Write on the questions and see which are hard for you. Color code it, okay? And that's the way I think you can um, like probably make sure you're progressing in the preparation. Okay. Now I will go to Shinjini. Sai, you are still here or you are okay?
Yeah, it was the.
No worries. It's okay. Absolutely fine. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm done. So you can.
Okay. So this was how she measured her progress. Essentially, I mean, I think that since the plan of Cheenta was well led to them that this is what is mathematics, this is what is statistics, this is what is probability syllabus, they don't have to think about planning. I think they just solved the questions and just did what they needed to do. Is that correct, Sai? Like it's my hypothesis. Do you think it's correct? Sai and Shinjini?
Yeah, totally. Because
Yeah.
we didn't have to think much. It was like everything lined up that you have to do this after that. And if you do X thing after Y thing, you don't really have to think much. So that saves time, and mainly it reduces your stress about where are you going. So that was good.
Good. Okay. Yeah, I just because I say this to many students, but I don't know whether they do it or not. But I think hearing from just their seniors will probably help them to understand actually it works. While so I will now go to Shinjini to share her extra parts or what she needs to add.
Yeah, so I want to add that probability course is very important for statistics. Like if someone does probability very well, then statistics becomes very easy. Like as Srijit sir told us, like and it was true. Uh,
Yeah, it was so
yeah,
true. Like you just do probability, and statistics seems like you are just scanning the questions.
yeah, just like calculating stuff and yeah, and like my journey was a bit different because I had my exams just before jam, like during jam, to be honest. And so like I couldn't solve as much as mock tests and like redo all the papers just before jam. So yeah, that was a bit of a problem because of CO. Uh, and yeah, the rest is more or less the same. And the solutions and discussions really helped. And what helped was like redoing all the past year questions like twice or even thrice sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, can I just add something?
Please add after turning on your video.
Yeah. So this is where those yellow questions you see that help, because we knew what we have to solve again, and we absolutely don't have to see again. So in the estimation thing, there are like in much of moments, or right now I guess it is probability module, right? Yeah, so say something from probability. Yeah, so from axiomatic and conditional probability, you could see that there are only 2 or 3 questions. Yellow, yeah, it's just two questions, and that is also from 2022, which is really bad paper. But as you go in the next modules, like joint probability, the joint one it is almost everything is yellow. It's almost everything. You can just see the Excel sheet. Yeah, this is the joint. It's like after every 5 questions, it's yellow. So we knew what we had to focus on. So this was the thing we were practicing. So it helped a lot. And the red questions was a sign that you don't really. This is the kind of question you have to skip, because this was the one you could never solve in entire year on your own. So this is the kind of thing you will be not able to solve in the actual question. So that absolutely helped.
Yeah, and SK made this typical problem category one PDF which contained all the typical problems which come in JAM, like same kind of questions, different values, and it really helped. Like just before JAM, just take a look at it, and it really helped.
Yeah, but do it only before jam. Like after you have given at least 3-4 markers. Don't do it from the starting because it's really bad if you do it from the starting because you won't really understand what actually the question is about and everything. Because this typical problem thing only helps in the end because you have to solve at least 36 question in all the 3 hours. So you have to be really quick. So at that time typical problems help, but if you just do it from the beginning, I think you will just lose interest and you won't enjoy problem solving because you'll feel like sub same hai.
Yeah, I mean, this is very important, and this is I want to focus on that. Number one, planning that they have made. This is something I never told them to do. Okay, they have creatively came up with, and I am happy. And they have shared their blueprint right now. So I will first of all, I will not share these questions which they have found hard, because every person is subjective and they need to make their own stuff. If you want to be successful, if you want to do things well, you need to do make this all the problems sheet very properly and mark the questions that are hard for you. Okay, that will also, you are accountable to yourself that okay, I have done all the questions. See, it needs hard work, and you can see that they have done a lot of hard work, a lot of planning, and you have to do it. There is no other way out, right? So this is something you should do it yourself. And this whatever you are seeing, this was a experiment from my side, whether it really works or not. And just Shinjini told, like, just doing the past year IIT, doing twice or thrice just really helps. Okay, so because you will get a lot of questions from different sources. Even we are uploading them, but what should you actually focus on? I think if you're focusing on just exams, a particular exam, go to the exam, just solve past year papers and see the patterns. Okay, you have to know the field well where you're playing. That's the whole idea. Now I will now, this is a question, I don't know how much it is valid for SK, for Sai, but I will ask Shinjini first, and that is very important. um, is that Shinjini, how is your how do you manage the college studies and preparation? Because I think this is the most important question I get from the students. Like, it's like mode of all the questions I get. So what will you suggest students, and whatever the great results you have done, how do you think that, how to manage it up? Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know how I like passed you. Like I haven't like normally for the college thing, I started studying like 3-4 weeks before the exam because I didn't have that much of time to do it before that. And even during the college preparations, I kept some time aside for the jam preparations or even ISI, PSA, and all. So yeah, it was hard and it was stressful, but yeah, it's like if you just focus on passing, it's okay, I guess. Like the college stuff, like it'll happen.
Yeah, I
And
mean, any specific methodology or planning you use, like, I mean, mentality, like this till this time I will do jam, or how do you distribute the time? That's what I want to know.
yeah,
Like,
what I did was I did the college stuff in the morning, and then when I got tired and all, I just started solving some jam papers like at night. And yeah, and I actually made cheat sheets for the college stuff too. Like yeah, cheat sheets is a very important thing I forgot to add. So for every topic in jam, we had made cheat sheets and shared with each other. And I started following the same thing for the college too, and it helped. Like just before the exam, you just glance at it and you get an idea of everything, all the formulas, and yeah, like something like that, I guess. So you're muted.
yeah, what I will do now is, like, I will show the how they made the cheat sheets. This is their Saee Shinjini folder, you can see. And I think this is, yes. So they made all these questions, and from various places they have got it, and they have made this. Oh, this is not the cheat sheet. I think this is the cheat sheet. So this is SK's one. So why Shinjini's one? Did Shinjini give me access? I think she gave it. Let me search it. Yeah. This is Shinjini's cheat sheet, and yeah, they made it really, really well. I mean, just handwritten, but they made it really, really well. And as I have always told, if you know statistics terms, sufficient complete statistic is nothing. Cheat sheet is nothing but the sufficient complete statistics of whatever you have learned. So it's very important to make cheat sheets. So just summing up, I will just sum up what they have said. Number one is that they followed the plan exactly that we have made. Okay, Cheenta has made for them. I think that made their life very easy. They wanted to plan and think about what to do. That's what I understood from their knowledge. They shared it to me for the first time. Okay, I didn't know all this thing before. The second one is, I think they followed the plan and they solved the questions. Okay, and learned and solved it. That's the only thing they did. And you saw that, just they just did those three recorded videos. That all the three recorded videos you get, all that is all that they did it. Okay, they did nothing more like you're doing right now. So that was enough. So you're getting more. Probably you should be prepared more. Okay, you should be doing more. So they just did all the recorded videos you see. Okay, not the live videos. They didn't get that. So you're getting more than what they're getting. I hope it is helping you. Okay, so they did that and they solved the question. So if you think that you can just do the recorded videos and just do the solving. Okay, they did the assignments well. They submitted the assignments, and of course grading was done, but they kept on doing it. They followed the plan, and that's what I am telling you to all of you, that please follow the plan that we have made. Try to believe in us and follow the plan. It works actually. And then come cheat sheets. Whatever you're learning, do the cheat sheet and make this. I think this is the most important thing for tracking your progress. Make this kind of sheet that they have made. Okay, and I think it really helps. It really, really helps. I can say it without doubt. I can understand why it really helps, because just before the examination you get those fundamental questions that you need to do, and this is kind of a cheat sheet. Okay, cheat sheet of the problems that you need to check before the examination. So this is something very useful, and I thank Saee and Shinjini, test it out and be creative about it. And yeah, thank you again. Good. I mean, I'm happy and proud of your great work together that you have done. Okay,
Thank you
so
so
now,
much. Thank you. Thank you for those words.
yeah, sure.
I want to add something to this.
Yeah, please, Saee.
Just two, three things. So we hadn't decided that we will do this heat map thing. This originated from the need of communication, that we had to communicate between which we could solve and which we couldn't solve. So we just had to communicate in the fastest and the best way, that this is the problem, is an issue, and we have to discuss it later on. Because on WhatsApp it was getting really messy. So that's how we started it, and it really worked. Thankfully it worked. So this first. Second, you should really make cheat sheets. That's first thing. And you should actually share your cheat sheets. Like we we both have made sure that we see each other's cheat sheets and go on adding the things up. And I think I the last thing I added in my cheat sheet was probably 3 days before jam. Like some important result you find out in some test, just add it in your cheat sheet. If someone is willing to share with you your cheat sheet, please take it, see what are the important formulas that person has written, and just add it. Whatever is not there, just add it. So you just go on increasing your span, your whatever the basis is there, you just go on increasing your span. So yeah.
Nice analogy, Sai. I appreciate it. I hope it made the students' concept of basis and span better.
One
Okay.
thing I want to tell about planning. One thing I want to tell about planning, how I managed college and thing, because a few students asked me. So unlike Shinjini, fortunately I had a bit more of time than her, because my college thankfully gave me a lot of breaks. So I had a good amount of summer break and even a winter break. And a few days before jam, there was something in college. So I I I got the permission, so I just it was possible to not to go college a few days before jam. So you just make sure that you use your breaks well. Just use your breaks really well, because in summer break I solved bliss time. I tried to solve bliss time. It's very hard. It's a tough book. So I tried to solve bliss time. That built my probability foundations really well, because that book is absolutely fantastic. It is something that helped me build my probability foundations from scratch, because my combinatorics was really bad. So that helped me. So Blistein is a book you should really try for proper intuitive understanding of probability and combinatorics, and even for problems. So you can just see the solved problems of Blistein, and or just do a few things from exercises and then go to past papers. So that helps. So if your college is giving you breaks, then plan it out well. What I was used to do before the start of my break, I would just text Sujit sir the entire plan of the break, that what all I'm going to do in the break. So just to keep a track and keep accountability. So yeah, thank you. You can just you do that. That's all I wanted to add.
Yes, I think Sai's point is perfect, that you need a planning that and an accountable person. Unfortunately, I cannot be accountable to every single student out there. That's why you need your own personal groups, and you need to like uh, really be communicative with each other. Okay. Um, but yeah, of course, the planning we have made with hard work, with experiments, please follow it. Okay, just make sure that there are these 42 lessons that you have to study. You just cross it out. That's it. How do you cross it out? By solving past year questions. The assignment, we have distributed the assignments into past year questions. Okay, that's how they got it. Otherwise they wouldn't have got it. So we distribute these problems among these topics, and they did it. Okay, so you have to just do it, and just there's a blueprint that you can see, and just replicate it. Okay, uh, and the whoever does the hard work more, that person wins. For examination purpose, for learning, reading books is the best, and the videos are there for intuition, problem solving. That's the best. Okay, so I will move on to the next question. That any books, online resources, videos that you found useful during your preparation, Sai and Shinjini, apart from what Chinta gave you, or whatever Chinta gave you, or union of all of them. Want to like specifically tell it out? Sai.
I'll just tell about maths and probability till univariate. Remaining things in will tell you. So for real analysis, it was Stephen Abbott and Patil Sherbert. Both of them are good. Patil Sherbert is better for typical problems, because there are less proofs, and those kind of theoretical questions are less in Patil Sherbert than Stephen Abbott. But in Stephen Abbott, intuition is the intuition is explained really well, and you can see the proofs and how the entire thing works inside. So Stephen Abbott is good for understanding, and for jam like problems, Barter Sherbet is good. Then for linear algebra, I think I just followed what Chinta gave. There are some notes which are shared. So yeah, those I followed. Then mm, for calculus, my calculus was good, so I didn't have to do much for that. For differential calculus of two variables and integral calculus, for integral calculus of two variables, I used Paul's online notes. You can find them out. They're really good.
Yeah, we have
Paul,
shared it to the students.
yeah, they're really good. And if you can practice entire like all those notes, like all the solved examples, assignments, and everything, it will be really good. So you can just do that for multivariate integral calculus. And for univariate, I think any book of JE advanced should be good for integral. And for graphs, yeah, graphs is important. For graphs, play with graphs is JE advanced book by Aryan publication. I followed that, and it helped me a lot. Yeah.
Perfect. So mathematics probability is done. For probability, you just followed Blitzstein or Sheldon-Ross also.
Yeah, Sheldon Ross for problems, because Blitzstein problems are very tough, like really, really tough. So
Yeah.
I found them tough. Sheldon Ross is like you can just start from it starts with easier questions and it ends on difficult questions. So you can just start with it. So it's a gradual increase in the difficulty level in Ross. But for Blitzstein, it's just different. Blitzstein is a very different book. I don't know, but you should give it a try.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Sai. I will go on to Shinjini for the rest of the suggestion.
Yeah, so I want to add that there's this book called Aim Goon Rai for probability solving, question solving. It's a really good book for probability questions. It's not available outside Kolkata, maybe. Like in College Street, you will get it, maybe. Like, yeah,
The
or
PDF of
like
the book?
Goon Rai, Aim Goon.
Do you have the PDF of the book?
Huh?
Do you have the PDF of the book?
No, I don't have the PDF, but I have. I might have a copy. Like, I don't have the PDF. No, I'll try to click pictures and send maybe.
I mean, we will find out. It will be
Okay.
helpful if you do it. If you don't find out, okay. But yeah, for
Yeah.
Gun Roy.
Yeah. And for linear algebra, Gilbert Strang's books and videos are nice. And what else? Yeah. And for statistics, Castle Berger is the best, I guess, for right now. And yeah, for multivariate calculus, apart from Cheenta's material, I also followed the MIT OCW video series, which is very helpful.
Mm-hmm. I will
And
like.
yeah, and I guess what else is left for? Yeah, Casella covers like probability statistics to a great extent.
बहुत की साल है?
Rohat ki Sale, it's a bit harder, but yeah, it's good for statistics portion. Yeah, it's more detailed, I guess, and the problems are very nice.
Got it.
And yeah, for linear algebra, I tried to follow Bhim Shankar Rao, but I didn't have that much time. But I guess it's a very good book too. Yeah,
Got it.
that's
Perfect. So now coming to the question, there's another question that came to my mind that students used to ask me that there is so much to do, right? There's 42 lessons to cover. Now, how to organize the problem solving? What do you think, Sai and Shinjini? Like, what problems to solve? Like, if I'm following Blitzstein or Sheldon Ross, which books to follow? Are Cheenta assignments enough? If not enough, what extra to do? Are past years enough? So these questions are asked to me. So what do you suggest to the students, Sai and Shinjini?
Yeah, it's a great question. Even I was used to think that whatever I'm doing, is it enough? So first thing I would like to tell everyone that problem solving doesn't really have any ending. That you can just go on solving. That's one thing. But if you do it in organized way and optimized way, rather than organized, if you do it in optimized way, it helps. So first thing, this is how I was used to do, except for probability, because probability was my weakest part and I knew I had to do a bit more on probability from my foundations. So I'll just tell you about overall thing which worked for me for maths and statistics. So uh, I just did the live classes. So at our time it was live. So all the three live classes, I was used to make sure that whatever is going on, I'm understanding it. That's one thing. If I don't understand, me and Shinjini would just sit and discuss whatever we haven't understood. Then, if you have time, especially for maths, I was used to read Stephen Abbott, because that epsilon, especially for real analysis, epsilon delta, and for linear algebra, a few concepts I had to revisit. So for that, I was used to read that only that portion of the syllabus from some book, so which we mentioned. So that I was used to do, and after that, I would directly go to past year papers. I have directly gone to past year papers. It feels in the starting that you're not able to solve them, which is fine because it takes time. And if you think like I'm taking like 15 minutes, 20 minutes for one problem right now. How will I be able to solve in the 3 minutes or 2 minutes in the final exam? So you just don't have to think about it, because if you do it, then you just can't. You won't be able to solve much. So let it take time in the starting. So whatever the time be. So you just make sure that you're solving all the past paper questions first. Once you are done with that, then you can go to Sheldon Ross. I would say Sheldon Ross because I found a few questions very similar in a few past year papers. So you can just solve Sheldon Ross, and Sheldon Ross has around 150 questions for each topic, like each chapter. So if you have that much of time, then you can go to Sheldon Ross. But what I believe is that for basic understanding and basic problem solving skills, I think Chinta assignments are good. And the past papers, if you do all the past papers of IIT JAM, they're good. And if you still have time, uh, then you can do past papers of some other exams, like maybe gate statistics. But gate statistics only the common topics, not something which is outside the topic. So try to stick to syllabus and see what is very similar to JAM, because there are many interesting questions in this time, but they're not at all of JAM time. So if you are on short of time, then just make sure that you're investing in the right direction, like in the exam direction when it comes to problem solving. If you have time, you can just solve. Solve as much as you want.
Yeah, so good. That's a good viewpoint. And so, yeah, in Chinta's assignments, all the past year questions are distributed for all of you, okay? So, don't have to worry about the past year questions missing out. And what would I have done, Sai? Okay, I could now go to Shinjini, what her viewpoint is. Then I will ask and share another thing.
Yeah, so I think that we should solve until all the questions like of a particular chapter of Sheldon Ross or any book. Like you just read a question and you see if you can solve it. If you can chalk out the idea with a pencil or anything, and if you can, you don't have to do the calculations. You just move on to the next. Like if you have time, that's really helpful. I did it with some of the questions, and yeah, the rest is what Sai told. Yeah.
Honestly, I didn't get much of time to solve schedules. So then it was probability, because I had to build it from scratch, and I was doing it in the summer. What I was used to do, I was used to understand how the solved problems are done. Sheldon Ross has really good set of solved examples. It's a very good set of solved examples. And if you study those examples really nicely, then I think it helps to solve exam problems. So this is what you can do. I didn't have time to solve Ross because I was just trying.
I think JAM statistics problems are really easy, okay, if you have very foundations well. Do you agree, Sai and Shinjini?
Yeah, yeah.
The complicated part is probability. So you can just do the past papers of JAM statistics, and I think that will be doing extremely good. For probability, I think you have to work a bit hard. You have to do some more things, and so that you don't have to solve more. Look for books to solve more problems. We are organizing quizzes. You know that 11 quizzes are already uploaded, right, guys? If you know that, I'm sure many of you have done that. I think if it was there in Shinjini's and Sai's time, it would have been great, and you would have done that. And I have only introduced it to the course after consulting them. So what do you want to say something, Sai and Shinjini, about this?
Yeah, the quiz thing it's really exciting. Like you will see this very helpful once you are done with the entire syllabus. Because what was used to happen in the end, that we had to search for the questions at some point, because we were just in the flow and we had to go on solving a lot. There was a little bit of thing for searching the questions which you don't have. You fortunately have the quizzes, and I guess it is those are time quizzes, right? You have a
Yeah,
certain
10 questions,
time.
30 minutes, just 3 minutes. That the JAM type. Yeah.
That's awesome, because what we didn't have it at that time. So what we had to do was keep an alarm, like keep a stopwatch there, or something like alarm in the in one corner, and just do it time. You just set the timer and solve one question in 3 minutes. Or I guess, yeah, sir told us when we were used to study for mock tests. That you see, when you solve questions with timer, each question 5 minutes. If you are able to solve it quickly, then just reduce the time. Do it 3 minutes. Do it 2 minutes, and if
No,
you
this is
do
what I
that,
told. If you remember, I told you that you were telling me in the end, like you were asking me, like, I have done all the past papers, will I do it again? Then I told you that now, since you know all the past, most of the past solutions, you have to maintain and keep up with the time. So instead of taking 3 hours, you aim for, in 3 hours, aim for 80% instead of 60%. That was my, like, to think quickly. The ideas should come to you quickly. So this was my point to both of you, that at towards the end, when you have all done the past papers and doing it for the second time, third time, you should do it in a timed manner, and you should do it fast. Aim for a larger, a higher bar of selection, like not 60% but 80%. I think that really helped, right? I mean, towards the preparation. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
you
I didn't have that much time to do this particular thing, which would have been better for me. Yeah,
got.
so
Yeah. So essentially, what they're saying is that just doing past years and Cheenta assignments are fine. But
totally just for integration, because integration is my weakest part. I think Shijini also ducked integration questions, right?
yeah,
We had decided to tuck integration because in the end it just gets wrong,
yes,
because we
because
had,
integration is hard to calculate. You're right.
yeah, integration is hard to calculate, but when you have time, like right now, so this amount of time you won't have when you go in third year, because you have, maybe you might have to do projects and there are things. So last sem is always hard of any course. So that's what Sridhar told us once. So what you can do is that just just practice integration whenever you get time, just for fun. Keep a timer and do it. If you're getting wrong, just set the timer again and solve it. Because what happens when you do integration with timer is that your brain gets very used to the that kind of pressure. You get very used to how much time is left out of 5 minutes or out of 10 minutes. And if you get the silly mistake, you can check out the pattern. What kind of things you get wrong in the integration. So I knew that I was used to forget, I was used to forget the power of 1 by, like, if I'm integrating 1 by x, I would integrate it like x, like, so that was very confusing thing. I would forget the coefficients, so that was a bit of issue. So this I found out
Right.
when I practiced a lot.
I will come to these mistakes points again, and you will be able to say more of it. So now I will go to Shinjini. You have anything to add, Shinjini?
yeah. I have one thing to add is that practice in the online calculator. Like it's available in, I guess, if you search for the online calculator, because like I didn't practice that much in the online calculator, and during jam I faced this problem. Like I was a bit slowed down due to the calculator. So even when you're doing normal practice, just use the calculator in a timed way. Like it'll help you later.
Got it. Yeah, yeah. This is something I cannot really implement in the app of Chinta. Uh, so so I think this is an important addition. So you have to do it yourself. Okay. So the final two questions I should say and ask to both of you is that, how did you attempt your question paper in the examination hall, and did you apply any methodology or time saving techniques that helped you? Sai, I will go to Shinjini first and then Sai.
Yeah, so I guess I solved the MCQ section first, like first 10 questions first, and then I moved to the NAT section. I don't really remember what I did. And then I guess I came back to the 2 mark question of the MCQ, and I left the multi-correct for the last. And yeah, and it was, and there was a bit of time crunch because of the multi-correct. They gave so much calculative, like every option was a question. So it was a bit difficult to attempt the multi-correct section. And yeah, and the numerical questions, like in the NIT questions, a lot of time went for me, and I was very unsure about the calculations because I usually make a lot of calculation errors, and I actually made two. I'll check later. Yeah, And yeah, the goal should be to try to do the MCQ questions like as correctly as possible. All the 30 questions, like they are a lot of, like they score a lot.
Got it. That's a nice strategy. What about Sai?
Yeah, I think I will add something to what Shinjini said. We actually decided, I think 2 days before JAM, we were sitting and discussing how are we going to solve the paper. So before that, what our seniors and what our seniors from Cheenta told us, that you just do the past papers which you have done, like sit for 3 hours and solve them, and you can just see once you, because you have solved the papers 1 or 2 times now, you can just see where you are good at. Like even after knowing the answers, if you are getting nat wrong or MCQ wrong, that means that section is not really your forte. So for me and Shinjini, it was MCQs. We were really good at MCQs. So we decided that we'll do MCQs first. So there were two strategies. Either you can do entire MCQ first, then go to NAT, and then solve MSQ. Because MSQ is very confusing, and MSQ is something that disturbs your mind, that disturbs your mentality. It can disturb your focus if you just do it in the middle of the paper. So we just decided to score as much as we can. So this was one way, or the other was MCQ 1, then NAT 1, then MCQ 2, NAT 2, and then back to, and then in the end MSQ. So this was the thing, and we had decided to do it on the spot. Just see the paper, judge it, and then decide what to do. So NAT was not really good because I knew my integration was bad. And whenever there was something like you have to calculate some expectation and everything, especially for joint distributions, you have to integrate, and you lose marks somewhere or somewhere else. So I saw the paper, and finally it was just I solved MCQ first, then both NAT, and we had actually divided the time. I think, yeah, we had divided the time into all the three hours into, I guess, three sections. Yeah, in three sections. So first 1 hour, and yeah, first 1 hour, entire 1 hour for all MCQs. Then remaining 1 hour and 15 minutes for NAT, because it takes time for me to calculate everything. And then last 45 minutes for MSQ. But what happened in actual exam was MCQ was so hard because each option, that is that we had to solve everything and check whether it is going on, because each option was an question in itself. So I just sticked to 1 hour thing. So after 1 hour, I left MCQ. So at that time, I had only solved 13. The target was, I guess, 17 or 18 questions of MCQ. So I left MCQs in 1 hour. Then I went to NAT. I started solving, and I couldn't solve many NATs. So there was still some time left. I guess 15 minutes, or no, there was 5 minutes were remaining. So then I went back to MCQ section, solved two questions, and then went to MSQ. So it was dividing the whole paper into time slots and in sections.
Nice,
Yeah.
interesting. I didn't think of it like this. That's good. This is something I didn't teach them. Okay, so they
No,
did it
you
out.
you had told us to stick to 36 questions.
Okay, okay, got it. Okay, you
Just
divided yours.
do whatever. Yeah, it's like do whatever, solve 36 questions because target is 60.
Yeah, got it.
So
Perfect.
I solved only 66, only 36 questions, not
That's
even one extra.
good. Okay, thank you for following that. Yeah, Shinin, you want to add something, or I will move to the next question?
Yeah, next question, I guess. Nothing to add.
Okay, the last question is that what mistakes you have made that you don't want your juniors to make, and yeah, that is very important. I will go to Shinjini and then Sai alternately.
Yeah, so number one is unnecessarily panicking, which, yeah. Uh, Number two is calculation errors, which like you have to practice a lot. I didn't practice that much. Like just practice calculating stuff. I didn't practice that much. And what else? Yeah, so like yeah, I underwent a confidence issue just before jam because of my semester exam things. I was like, I'm too underprepared, I don't know what to do. And then yeah, that happened. Shouldn't, like that shouldn't happen. You just keep, like whatever you're prepared, you have to just be confident on that, because like in the last 1 week you can't change much. So yeah, don't panic or do anything new in that portion of time. And yeah, and during the examination, don't hurry a lot. And like, if you encounter a hard question, know that it's hard for everyone else too. Like, it's not just hard for you. Like, I thought that it was just hard for me, and everyone is solving a lot. So I panicked on that too. Yeah. And I guess that's it. Yeah.
Okay. What about Sai?
Yeah, something similar. Something similar. So first thing is that Shinjini says that she would have worked more. It is not she had practiced a lot. So yeah, that's she's very hardworking. She had solved a lot. Okay, she has solved a lot. What my mistake was, I think I was looking at the timer a lot. So like how much time is left? How much time is left? That if you just check a lot into that clock, which is set for 180 minutes, and you are used to see that it is 1 hour 45 minutes left, but when you see that 169 questions, sorry, 169 minutes left, then your time goes into calculating how much of hour and minutes it is. So you just waste your time during the examination converting to minutes. I hadn't told this before. So this is one thing. Second, don't calculate how much questions you have solved and how much marks you will get during the examination. So I was not used to do this. Sorry, I was not used to do this into. I was not used to do this in the mock test. I just did it in the final exam. So don't do it. Just solve questions and check. Don't do it. It is a wastage of time. And something I would have done after jam. Like I was acting very weird after jam. So yeah, don't do that. You just be calm with whatever you have done. So yeah, and everything is similar with what Shinjini said. Don't hurry because it never helps. Because in Jam 2023, what the kind of question paper came to me, in the end, it was very easy question of just additive property of gamma. So like you had to solve everything very hard. Entire paper was like a nightmare. You had to solve everything in detail, and you are very tired. But the 60th question was very easy. So you just have to be really calm and don't lose the hope during the paper.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Perfect. There.
one thing to add,
Yeah.
like, yeah, I had an allergy just before jam, which was yeah, so don't eat anything you're not sure of, or you might have an allergy just before jam. It'll be the worst thing ever. So,
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think. Yeah. Yeah. Please go ahead.
that's why my parents and almost like my close friends were not letting me eat anything which was not cooked in home. So I was really sick of eating at home and eating very non-spicy things and just like that. So yeah, just take care of health, sleep good before exam.
Perfect.
That helps.
So there are a lot of stoic suggestions from the people who have done it really well, from Sai and Shinjini. And yeah, I hope I will be implementing it in my own life too, um, soon. So all the best, guys, for you know for implementing this in your own preparation. Okay, but of course you have your own doubts now. All my questions are uh, done. I am done with my part of asking them my questions that I have had doubts in. I wanted the answers to. Now I want to ask if students have some questions and doubts from their end. Yes. So students, please feel free to ask your doubts. Anupma, Anuran, Dipanshu, Kaustav, Mevili, Prashant, Prerana, Raghav, Rahul, Revant, Ridhiman, Shada, Shiv, and Shukanya, Vishali. Yeah, Rahul.
Hi, Shairi and Shinjini. So, my question is, suppose I am solving a problem for Bispen Wang or Vinod whatever the book is. The solutions of each and every problem hasn't been given, right? So, how can we be sure about our solution? That's my
You
question.
discuss with your friends, you discuss with the faculty of Chinta, I guess.
For each and every problem solution,
Yeah?
for each and every solution.
Yeah, the ones you're having doubts about, you can discuss, right? Like, why not?
All right. Thank you.
Like,
Mm,
Yeah, Shinjini is putting everything on my shoulders. Ask Shridha or other faculties.
yeah.
Uh, that's good. That's good. Uh, that's good. That's something you should do. But I
See,
think group.
because okay, I wanted to answer. I want to say one. Okay, why we are saying that? Because I guess it was maths orientation at that time. First orientation of maths. So I had asked Shijit sir, okay, I am really bad at proofs. How do I do proofs? I don't know how to do proofs. So I just remember your answer. His answer was proofs are like poems. So when you read a lot of poems and when you read a lot of books, you start writing poems. So he said he can do proofs because he had seen his professors doing proofs and writing proofs all the time. So that's how he does. So when you ask others, like when you do group discussion or when you ask faculty how to do a problem, you really see how they're thinking. That this is one thing, that how you solve a problem is one thing, that methodology and everything is one thing, but you learn like how that person is thinking. So for example, this is what happened with me. There is this AGP thing, right? Arithmetical geometric progression, which has a very complicated formula, which I tried to mug up really hard, but it was never used to come to me in exam. But what Shinjini was used to do, she just used one property, that differentiation and summation are interchangeable. Like derivative of sum is sum of the derivatives. That's the only property she used to do the AGP series. So this is how she thinks. That's what I learned. Just because I discussed with her. So discuss. It helps.
Thank you for your insight, Shairi.
Yeah, thank you, Rahul, for asking your question. Yeah, Rahul is one of the most curious person in Chinta, and I'm um, happy he does that like many others. Okay, so any other questions, guys? You have this opportunity to ask them. Any other questions? Anupma, Anuran, Dipanshu, Kaustav, Mevili, Prashant, Raghav, Rahul, Revant, Riddhiman, Shinjini, not Shinjini, sorry, Shiv, Shukanya, and Vishali. No questions? Superb. Oh yeah, Kaustav. Oh, they're already answered. Yeah, Rahul, please go ahead.
So, another question. So, how much theory one should grasp before solving uh, any problem or any particular problem, mathematics or statistics? For
Sorry, can you please repeat your question again?
uh, the basic, the the question is how much theory one should grasp before going to solve a particular problem from a particular topic, say let's say mathematics or statistics problem.
Did you get
I
it,
guess,
Sai and Shinjini?
yeah, I guess JAM provides a syllabus which includes all the theoretical topics which you need to cover. I guess that's enough. Also, like I studied in CU. CU has a very rich theoretical syllabus. So yeah, that helped me. But I guess JAM ka syllabus is enough for solving the problems. If you get the theory which is mentioned in the JAM syllabus. Yeah.
All
I
right,
will tell you.
get it.
Yeah, I will tell you where Rahul's doubt and similar questions are coming, because they are starting the preparation right now. Okay, almost. Like probably a few months back, I have started. So not just Rahul, like most of the people do that. Okay, so just after ISI starts, the ISI ends, they think they have to start their preparation right now. So what do you suggest them, Sai and Shinjini, if you would have been in their place? What would have done, like suggestion, like if they're starting their preparation, like let's say I've started like recently 1 month or 2 months before, like with the full efforts, what will you suggest to them, Shinjini and Sai? Shinjini can go first. Okay, Sai can go first, whoever turns on her video first. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe I'm not the best person to say this because I started 1 year beforehand and not 6 months. But I think I think what you can do is that um, just get a hang of what you are really bad at and maybe start working with that, and simultaneously you can keep on revising what is going on and just try to clear the backlog as faster as you can. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the Cheenta videos are enough for the like theory part. Like if you're starting now, I guess they're enough.
I personally think that too, and I have told that to them too, that the Chinta videos are enough, along with the problem solving. That is a bare minimum you should do. The assignment, the past year solutions, and the Chinta video. Then you think about something else, but they think that it's more for them. I personally thought that after talking to them, but there is no other way out. I cannot see any other way out. Do you think there is any other way out, Sai and Shinjini, without doing them? Like,
No,
I
I
don't think
think
so.
the Cheenta videos at the bare minimum.
Yeah, and also the assignments, like the past year problems, the
Yeah,
assignments you
yeah,
have.
yeah, obviously.
Yes. Uh, yeah. Any other question, guys? Okay. For ISI subjective exams, any suggestions, guys? Sai and Shinjini, did you? I hope you have given the exam. Yeah. What was your uh, journey, and how did you? What do you think you could have improved, or what helped you in whatever you have done? Um, Sai was not here, so Shinjini, you should start, and she has just joined.
Yeah, so my ISI objective went more or less okay. So, but the subjective part, there was an easy question at the first. Like it was a linear algebra question. It was pretty easy, but somehow I panicked and messed it up. I don't know why, and that just costed me a lot. See, subject ISI में you can see a pattern if you solve the previous year questions. Like there's one or there are 1 or 2 questions from probability which are pretty hard. There is one from the mathematics portion, like there are 3 questions from mathematics portion. Among them, linear algebra and calculus are like series sequence. They're more or less solvable. And from statistics portion, this year the questions were hard, yeah. And they also give 1 question from the design and sample survey thing, which is easy if you practice a lot, yeah. But yeah, so you can see a pattern in the questions, and if you just prepare topic wise, I guess that will help, like. And yeah, I guess that's all. I don't know, the previous year questions are enough, like 2005 to 2023. Every year they have the PSP questions
Yeah.
which help.
Yeah, during their time, Shinni's time, I made the questions of ISI hard. That was probably a fault on my part, but this time, I mean, they gave me the feedback, but this time I will make them more, doable. So, but ISI is hard. There is no way out to do that. Sai, are you here?
Yeah, I am here, but I just can't turn my video on. No.
Oh, it's okay. So, do you have any suggestion for ISI subjective?
Yeah, so yeah, I just wanted to say that don't stop studying after jam, irrespective of you like you crack it or don't crack it. Just have that tempo and
That
just
momentum.
keep on solving it. Yeah, that's one thing that's what I didn't do. That is the reason why I couldn't crack ISAP. That's first thing. Second, PSA, it's a bit easier than jam. So you might expect a bit easier thing, because what happened, I was not very used to solve easier questions in objective. So my time was going in thinking, why it is so easy? Am I doing something wrong? So uh, you can expect them to be a bit easy. Like Shinjini said, there is a pattern, so you can just see that and go. For subjective, just do all the PSBs, like just all the PSBs really religiously, all the previous year questions of subjective, and then maybe you can just try Rohadgi Saleh, because there are similar questions from that, but it's a very hard book. I haven't prepared much, so I can't say much.
Yeah. She was confident that she will get into IIT. That was good. Oh,
No,
she
I was not confident. I was not confident. I was just
Lazy.
acting paranoid, and
Okay.
yeah, lazy.
Okay.
That's it.
So Vishali has a question that what is the total number of hours spent to study per day? That's hard. Uh, just give your number, Sai and Shini. Number with a confidence interval.
I guess I will say this better because I didn't keep track of anything.
What? I didn't what?
You
I didn't
didn't.
keep track of how much I studied. I like it was very varying. Like the variance is very high. It's not it's not converging to any particular hours.
Yeah, that's how Shinjini studies. I think it is more like event based, because rather than time based. Like you should just think about it always considering your college situation. That's what I did. When
Yeah,
it
and
was when it was exams, if you can manage the unit tests, so when there was internal exams, I could always manage them. So during that time, I could practice, but at that time, sir had told us that consistency fixer. Maybe you can just send them that every day you just have to show up a bit. If you can't do anything, like you can't even sit for 1 hour, you just solve one question, but you solve it, because that's what keeps you in touch. So when there was exams which are absolutely not manageable, then I would I was not used to study for exam and pay the thing after the exam ends, because mostly I would have forgotten stuff and created backlog. So that's what used to happen. But on an average, it was like 3 hours. Yeah, plus or minus half. Yeah,
Good. That's
usually. But then in the end, like as the exam comes near and near, you just stop calculating. It happens. Like whenever you get time, you just start doing it. And it happened mostly because we were doing it in group. So we both lost the count in the end.
Shini, you want to add something?
yeah, what we did was we set a goal for a week and then we tried to finish it. Like it didn't depend on how much you studied in a day. Like the result was how much of the goal you completed in the week. Yeah.
Absolutely. I really like this idea, Shinji. I absolutely like this idea that it should be goal based, not time based. Because let's say you want to learn linear algebra, okay, or solve all the problems of linear algebra. Probably you're good at it, so you will need lesser time. But if you want to do a probability, you need probably more time. So I think it should be goal based rather than time based, because Uh, yeah, I mean, yeah, they have the ISI 2023 question paper. I will share it. Yeah, they have shared it to me. I forgot to upload. Okay. Any other questions, guys? Or otherwise, I think it's good to go. Already it's I think 11:30, right? Okay, Anupma has a question. How proficient you should be in curve tracing? And okay, Sai can answer that, and of course Shinjini. And should we cover the whole play with graphs book? Is it fruitful to start the book now? Not that 6 months are left. Shinjini and Sai.
Okay, I think Shinjini, you can just say what you want to say first, because it's like one of the. I like that question.
But
If you're
remember,
taking,
6 months are left. Okay, accordingly answer that to Anupma.
What
Don't
is
answer.
left?
Can you can see the question in the comment box.
No. What is left? I didn't catch you.
6 months. 6 months is left. So
Okay.
do we have to does she have to do like curve tracing right now, or how proficient one should be?
Curve tracing is required to solve the real analysis questions. Like, it's a very fun topic. Sai does it very well. So I guess, like, you can just solve. You can practice until you can solve the curves of, like, you can draw the curves of any polynomial functions or any exponential, like. And Srijit actually showed us a method of tracing curves. Like, from any functions, you can just trace a curve, which was very helpful to solve any question.
You have an entire week devoted to curve tracing. I think
Yeah,
that's the minimum one should know, Anupma. That's
yeah.
I mean, you should be able to draw any curve using that method. So it's the bare minimum. Yeah.
yeah, and I think the class which you took was around 3 hours. Yeah, on curve tracing. So it's a bit of daunting class, but I think you have the recording. You can just do that. That class was really helpful. That's one thing. So you will just run really well that technique of how to solve it, how to trace the curves. That's one thing. You understand the technique step by step. Then second, absolutely don't miss the steps. Like don't jump from step 1 to step 3 or directly go to step 4 because just you can do it. Like there is some differentiation involved in the process. So just don't go on differentiating blindly at first. Start with the first step. Okay, so that's one thing. Second, yeah, don't start to solve the book entirely from now on because you don't have that much of time.
I have
So
a
you,
yeah.
yeah, just go on.
Yeah, I have a suggestion to Anupma that um, you should just do the problems of Chinta that we have in a lot of curve tracing problems. Just do them, okay? See, curve tracing are not directly the questions will not come, but you need to draw the curves in some cases. So I think Sai and Shinini will be able to tell you that where it is useful for problem solving in IIT, or is it at all useful? I think it's
Yeah,
useful
yeah,
to see the curve. Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead,
it
go ahead.
is useful almost everywhere. In probability, in geometrical probability sums, you need to trace. Then in real analysis, you need to trace for the nature of the graphs. In statistics, I'm not sure if you need curve tracing that much, but yeah, in everything else you need.
Yeah.
yeah. First, for statistics, you don't need. For sequences and series, there are a few recurrence relations which are there for sequences, but you can solve them by doing curve tracing. That's really beautiful thing. So that's one. But I mainly used it in differential calculus, especially when you have to find out the number of roots. Then you have to find out where it is discontinuous and where it is not differentiable. So you just if when you just draw it, and if you see a sharp turn, it is not differentiable. And if there is a hole, it is not continuous. So this gets very easy when you draw it. Then you actually do that right hand limit and left hand limit or things like that. So it is very helpful for differential calculus. So like what sir said, you can just do with the one exercise. Even I haven't solved the entire book. I solved one exercise. It was just one exercise of I think 53 graphs. First exercise of the book.
Yeah, I think just taking a few problem functions and just plotting it. It's not really important topic. It's like an allied topic that is important for solving other problems. So that's why it's kept as an important week out there. that how to trace the functions. Yeah, because it's also important to trace the functions when you're finding the area under the curve.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is one important integration application. That is very important. Yeah, Anupma, do you want to clear any other doubts, guys?
Curve tracing is not like you will get it in 1 week. It takes time. Like you will start it now, and like in 1 or 2 months it will be fine. That then at the end of 2 3 months you will just see the you will see the function and you will be able to draw it. But till then it will take time. So don't think of it like a topic or like a series thing. That it's not like a ratio test. That you remember the technique and you do it. So it takes time, but in the end it will help. It will help in
Okay.
the final test.
Coming to this ratio test thing, which are the topics you think, guys? This will last question. Which are the topics you think you guys are really scoring out there? Like, I think series and sequence are really scoring out there.
Yeah, and the entire statistics portion is really scoring too.
Exactly. Absolutely. This completeness sufficiency thing, if you know exactly what you're doing, then it's absolutely scoring.
Yes.
Series is
That,
also scoring, but depends on the question. Like 2023 series question I couldn't do.
no,
I
what did
couldn't.
you say, Sai? I think I was talking, so I couldn't hear it.
Yeah, I said sequences and series is also good, but it depends on the question again.
Okay,
Because 2023 I couldn't solve the series question. So
got it.
yes, but statistics is always good. Almost always good.
Status is always good, and I think why sequence and series and status are always good because there's always an algorithm, you need to follow, like specific steps. For UMVU, these are specific tests. Sufficient nikalo, ye nikalo, I mean, the Rao-Blackwell theorem, all these things. So it's specific theorems you have to use over and over again. It's very easy. I mean, statistics is the easiest. And then, but to do statistics to make statistics to the easiest level, you need to learn probability well. Okay. So that's the thing you have to follow. Okay, so thank you everyone. I hope you don't have any other questions. Thank you for joining, and first of all, thank you for helping out Sai and Chini. You should turn on our videos right now, and thank you for all the students staying till the end of the talk and asking questions. And I hope it has helped you. This session has helped you, and I will be sharing their contacts of LinkedIn so that you can get in touch with them. Sai will be going to IIT Kanpur. Have already gone there. Yeah, they can share it. Probably they can make a post in LinkedIn and they can share it. Okay, I think that will be great if they are comfortable. Of course, they will be comfortable. There's nothing to be uncomfortable about. If they're not comfortable, then they will not. If they can share, they will share it, and then I can share it to their link. It's their choice. That's not in my hand. And um, yes, and students, I hope you got the gist of it. I hope you will put your best in it. Um, I will ask you to say some parting words to them, some inspiring words to them, or non inspiring words to them that can help them in their preparation and in the future. Um, Sai and Chini, parting words, goodbye words. Or yes, you should turn on your video and talk.
I can't turn on a video. I am
Okay,
just
you just talk. Yeah,
outside the thing. If there is no light, I'll try, but
it's
yeah.
okay. You just talk. Yeah. You want to say something to them?
Yeah, all the best. Don't get stressed too much. Just practice, work hard. That's all what else can I say?
Yeah, I think that's the only thing. Just work hard and practice and follow the plan and solve, and that's it. There's no hard and fast, some big mantra to follow. Sinjini, same thing, or you want to add something?
Yeah, I want to add that have fun with it, and if you feel that you're not doing the preparation part very well, just make sure that you love the subject
Yeah,
and you're interested in it. Yeah.
yeah, that's it. That's what you're left with at the end of the day. Thank you, all of you, for joining, and I hope you enjoyed the session, guys.